try to combine these terms, the combination seems to immediately refute itself, as the idea that nihilism is the ideology of nothing appears to be nonsensical. To say that this means that someone believes in nothing is not really much more helpful, as believing in something suggests there is something to be believed in. But if that something is nothing, then there is not something to be believed in which case believing in nothing is again a self-refuting idea. Philosopher of nothing Jerry Seinfeld identifies this problem when he made his first post-Seinfeld stand-up appearance on The Late Show with David Letterman. Seinfeld began, "The question is this, what have I been doing? Everybody says to me, 'Hey, you don't do the show anymore. What do you do?' I'll tell you what I do. Nothing. Doing nothing is not as easy as it looks. You have to be careful, because the idea of doing anything, which could easily lead to doing something, that would cut into your nothing, and that would force me to have to drop everything." Nothingness quickly becomes somethingness as soon as we try to talk about it, and yet we talk about it all the time. What have you been up to? Nothing. Exchanges like this are so common that it has become something of a reflex, as we frequently respond to such mundane questions with the answer, nothing. But to most people, such an answer would not be an example of nihilism. Nihilism is supposed to be something dark, something negative, something destructive. Saying you are doing nothing, however, is perfectly normal, as of course everyone knows that you are not literally doing nothing, which, as Seinfeld suggests, would be nearly impossible, but is simply indicating that you are doing nothing worth mentioning. Yet, if we do have these sorts of exchanges as frequently as I have suggested, then that would mean that we are frequently spending our time doing nothing worth mentioning. And if we are spending so much time doing nothing worth mentioning, then perhaps this exchange is closer to what we think nihilism means. Perhaps this does indicate that our lives are not worth mentioning, that we are doing nothing with our lives, that we are nothing, that we believe in nothing. To believe in nothing in this sense would then require not that we have a specific belief about nothingness that we could identify, but instead that we are living lives that accord with the belief that life is nothing. Nihilism as an ideology of nothing would mean not that we adhere to a discernible system of beliefs about nothingness, but rather that the beliefs we have, or think we have, are equivalent to nothing. For example, if we believe that life is meaningful, and yet we spend our lives doing nothing worth mentioning, then our actions reveal that our belief about life is nothing worth mentioning, that it is worthless, that it is incapable of motivating us to do something rather than nothing. It is here that we begin to see why nihilism is typically viewed as something dark, negative, and destructive. For if we understand someone who is self-righteous, think of Holden Caulfield, Howard Beale, or Lisa Simpson, to be someone who would accuse others of nihilism, who accuse others of living nihilistically, then someone who is self-righteous is someone who believes that what others believe in is nothing. A self-righteous individual is therefore a critic, a skeptic, a heretic, someone who sees as nothing what others see as something, for which reason the self-righteous are often associated with smugness, sanctimony, and superiority complexes. And it is this reduction to nothing of the beliefs of others that leads those others to see the self-righteous, the ones who not only do not share, but actively reject the beliefs of others, as the ones who actually believe in nothing. To be self-righteous is to see what is normal, what is accepted, what is popular, as nihilistic, as nothing, as meaningless. But to accuse others of being nihilistic is to be seen by those others as the one who is truly nihilistic, as the one who truly is a nihilist. This confusion about what it means to be a nihilist is important, as we will hear, for example, when we get to Nietzsche, as he criticized what he saw as the nihilism all around him, and yet he described himself as a nihilist, leading people to criticize Nietzsche for advocating nihilism. These are distinctions that we will need to work out. There are the annihilating tendencies practiced by nihilists, and there are the annihilating tendencies practiced by the self-righteous. Nihilism and self